Previously on the Great Ace Attorney. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rule of passage, a pet. Ah! That was fun. That was very cool. I like that. I like all the dancing around and stuff. Hello, YouTube. I'm Unca Crunk. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney. And we just got kicked out of Nikolina Pavlova's room, who we just discovered is a ballerina on the run. I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that. I wish we'd managed to find some clue as to what that speckled band might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door. He's clearly glaring at us as if to say, "Don't even think about it." Oh, wait a minute. What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? Oh yes, he completely disappeared. When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists. Well, it would have been very difficult to do the dancing around thing if we hadn't had those taken off. Right, we've already looked at all this, haven't we? Guess we just have to go back to my room. "9th January, SS Buria, first class cabin, number 1. Yeah, it looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes, on that subject, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed. What do you mean, unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh, yeah. I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Dude, what happened to you? Oh, you're back. Inspector! What happened to you? Your face is... Please, don't worry about it. They are just tractors. Made by bear, maybe. Then I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate. He told me he'd pummel me with his fist and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing really. Looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin. Geez, so I understand. Oh. I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. I don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. All right. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please! What self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know about that graceful angel? Calm down! You're gonna kill yourself. Oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case at least. Oh, how? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops, no, I've definitely upset him. Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So, I'm just keeping watch here. Try not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. There is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what? Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. What is this new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Berlioz medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh. Kazuma's post-mortem report? Kazuma-sama. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report. What? His neck was broken? Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first, I think they were considering poison. Yeah, so was I. Specifically snake. But, well, that would be venom, not poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet. But the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object. Something that wouldn't leave a mark. I see. Or maybe a really large, burly sailor just twisting his neck around. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck would induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. Poor Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, he's fine. I trust you. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? Okay, a report from the SS Beria's medical officer giving the cause of death as a cervical spine injury. There were no traces of external injury or poison. Well, how about this great detective then? Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, wasn't he? Yes. He seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish? Wonder what he meant. Maybe that scuff mark on the floor over there? It was when he was over there, by that The broken piece of glass, you see?
Perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think?
Ah, yes. That must be it.
But how can Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish?
That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea.
What is it, Susato-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue.
Dark tan?
Sort of dark brownish red, then. Yes, it's a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repair them for him.
Oh, does this mean
That this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed along the floor? Okay. So, into the ground. I guess a knee to the back of the neck could have done it.
that's really all I can tell you at this stage? I should return to my post. My fellow crewman's eyes are boring into the back of my head.
Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. Poor Inspector, you look exhausted.
Oh, no. Well, I feel terrible that I failed to protect Osogi-san. It was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You're his friends. The atrocities. I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke in this morning.
A heavy head? That's interesting. Also, what does that mean? My head's still throbbing too. Heavy head. Well? It really is such a beautiful color, this glass. Looks like whatever it is broken clean in two. But the other half is nowhere to be seen. And then there's the brick-colored mark. Which is shoe polish, according to that great detective you seem to know all about. I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes. Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure that it's shoe polish and not something else? Because he's a great detective, of course. That's hardly a reason, is it? Okay. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. So by bringing our pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules. She called it her friend, didn't she? Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as of yet. I'm almost certain that whatever it is inside the traveling case in her cabin. A friend. It's more to this than it seems, I think. Yeah. Hello.
So, where you go?
Oh, sorry. I just went to the next door cabin.
Why? Who gave you permission for this?
Well, Dennis, I mean, Seaman Hosonaga did.
That new Japanese, was it? Later I will roll him into a ball and throw him in the cold room.
Hey, Hosonaga, you can drop the accent now. They know you're Japanese. He's going back to guarding the door.
No, I will keep my accent going for a bit longer. I think they are misunderstood. Perhaps you merely misheard him. He meant I got on the ship in Japanese harbor. Not that I am Japanese.
Whatever. The accent's terrible anyway.
I hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account.
He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at La Carnival. Presuming he doesn't die of tuberculosis first.
That could be a very long time from now, Naruhodo-san.
All the books provided for passengers occupying this cabin, neatly arranged on the shelf.
They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember.
Yes. You tidied them up, didn't you?
You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins leads to damage.
But it really wasn't me who knocked them over.
Well, anyway, I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy.
So it's clear that these letters were written with the ink that was somehow spilt on the floor. And they spelled the Russian word for wardrobe.
It does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, as you were sleeping in there.
But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelt out my name, don't you think? Also, if his neck was broken, I don't think he could have written that.
Well, either way, one fact remains. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words, or word, in Russian.
Which begs the question of who did write it. So this ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin.
Yes, that's right.
And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. The speckled band, as he described it.
If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are.
Yes. I wonder if she's telling us everything, though.
I'm not sure.
You know, most people aboard would say the same thing about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me. I hope she wasn't the killer. This is where Kazuma spent his final moments, writing his diary.
1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone.
Oh. Kazuma-sama left us a valuable clue in these words, I'm sure of it. We have to solve this mystery, Naruhodo-san.
We will.
There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yeah, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute.
What is it?
Well, that's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
No!
No, not responsible.
I do wish there was something that let me know what's left to look at, especially when I have to look at things for a second time. Oh yeah, this thing. No. Um. Back to talking, maybe? No, that's not an option. But I can go back into the passageway. Oh.
Look, Naruhodo-san. Seaman Stroganoff has gone.
Strong enough?
Stroganoff! The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us.
All these Russian names are impossible to remember. Tra-la-la. Oh. Did you hear that? Sounded like someone singing.
Tra-la-la-lira-lira-lay. I did it the great detective way.
Oh.
This caroling. I know that lark-like voice.
Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us.
Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate.
Definitely. Before that stringy knot crewman comes back.
It's Stroganoff, not Stringy Knot.
Whatever. Just call him Beefcake. That's what he is. You know, I do hate it when they pretend that we haven't heard a person before and they just put question marks on their text box. Ugh. Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Susanna-san. Oh, where's she gone? Oh, there you are.
Now, what are you doing? Those are our private things. There's not a moment to waste, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. The game is afoot.
The game's a what now?
Afoot.
Surely it's a wardrobe.
So just come over here.
Oh. All right, I suppose you're right for Kazuma's sake.
Not just for Kazuma-sama.
What do you mean?
It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there.
Really?
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves if we have to.
Yes, we will. Okay.
Naruhodo-san, are you there?
Sorry, I'm right here. Yes, why?
Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home.
Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know.
Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes.
I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. How about this, carpet bag? No, nothing there. It's one of these next to the bed in Kazuma's cabin, too.
Yes, it's a bell cord. Can't resist.
Resist! Oh, damn it. She barely hesitated there.
She gave it a good tug, too. No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't. We're not supposed to be in here. We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret.
I suppose it's my fault for looking at it. So this ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door.
Yes. Although, what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room.
maybe is so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm.
Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning.
Well, that is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. No, not the bed. That looks like a lump.
Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open.
It's completely empty inside. But according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there.
Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret.
Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Burya. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. Well, wherever it is, she moved it. And more to the point, where is it now? Maybe it's with her, wherever she is. There are just a few books on the desk, nothing else by the looks of it.
Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all.
That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read.
Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading books written in Russian.
Thanks. I think I probably already knew that.
It's rude to ask too much of people Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that.
All the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one.
Do you think that's the god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though.
It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin.
Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase?
I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company?
All right, then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage?
Not everything that bad that happens on this ship is because of me, you know.
Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here, too. I don't like seeing things in disarray.
We really shouldn't leave evidence behind that we were here.
Wait, are there books? Are the same number of books?
Suppose there must be because I can not inspect it further. Yes, they're displayed in this cabin too. Look, that says Burya's Rules of Passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
I suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I mean.
Wonder where her friend disappeared to now. She's probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine.
I just hope Seaman Stroganoff doesn't find it and throw it overboard.
Oh, yes. So do I.
Oh, she fed her pet. I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor.
Wait, saucer? Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately.
Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here?
What? A leak?
Is this ship quite safe?
I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink.
No, you're right. Of course you're right.
She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? Interesting that she would say saucer that looks like a plate.
It would seem that this teapot is empty.
So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are very thirsty people.
Or, because Miss Pavlova only came into this cabin last night, she hasn't had the chance to make any tea yet. I mean, it could be either.
Well,
It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it.
You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruhodo-san?
Yeah. Also, it occurs to me that there's nowhere to make tea in this cabin. No heat source for the kettle, I mean. Also, no kettle.
I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket.
Shall we have a little rummage around and see what's been thrown away?
Naruhodo-san, it's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
Ugh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now.
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly. We have no choice. There's hardly anything in here at all.
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing.
Okay, aside from this saucer where she fed her pet, haven't found anything worth being in here for. I was really hoping that would be something. This cabin door has the same simple sort of bolted latch that our cabin door has. If the bolt's drawn across, there's no way anybody could enter the cabin from outside.
Yes, it's not a particularly heavy-duty bolt, is it? But still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it?
No. And the doors are made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt it from the other side.
And it seals up perfectly, too, stopping any seawater coming in. So you couldn't use the method you told me of passing a thread through a crack around the closed door either.
I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors. I'm starting to see why they suspect me.
I guess I'm done here. I don't see anything else.
Damn it.
All right.
Miss Pavlova's cabin.
This could be our chance.
What?
The pearly sailor doesn't appear to be around at the moment. We could investigate every last inch of that cabin.
We just did! Not sure if we could go that far. But we could certainly do with looking around more. Sure we could learn something. I've looked at everything! Oh, hello.
Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look!
Wow. You never know where he's going to turn up next, do you?
He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself.
Tra-la-la-lee-lee-lee, I did it the great detective way. Hey, he's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us?
Or he's simply in extremely high spirits.
Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, and through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky her luck was about. Excuse me. I solved it all and I stood tall. I did the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes! Ah! What is it? You want to fight? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing. And I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now's as good a time as any. I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. All right, I get that picture. Now, could you put those fists away, please? I mean, he's kind of he's kind of adorable.
Mr. Sholmes?
What was that?
Mr. Sholmes? You seem to be examining something before we interrupted you.
Ah, yes. That. I was immersed in study of the ship's log as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here.
Oh yes, the ship's log.
And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway. And he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour.
Oh, really?
He writes that every 30 minutes.
Nothing to report?
Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there's just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report.
Do you mean?
Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post.
What kind of circumstances? What happened?
That remains a mystery for now. But we can be sure something significant took place. No, so significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file.
Okay.
Now, that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes Sholmes? Brilliance! Oh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. Gas leak. We all have headaches because of a gas leak. Damn, Susalta nailed it back there. Oh, you're catching on too. Well, my friends, until our next encounter.
All right. Bye.
He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. There's something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought.
It's just... Well, I feel the same.
Sorry?
Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. Sort of continuous throbbing.
Oh, you too.
It would seem everyone has a headache.
I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place.
That door leads to the second class area.
It's locked. Can't open it.
No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape.
Gosh, she gave me a very stern look when she said that. Are you sure it's just that they didn't, draw the rest of the ship? Well, maybe I do have to go back in there. Now that I've spoken to Sholmes.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. What's that?
No, but seriously, what is that?
Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted on quarter-mile 4. Full stop. Hard to starboard. All hands. Braced by impact. What the?
I think we're about to crash into another ship.
What?
I can't stand.
Suzaru-san, hold on to me. Suzaru-san, are you all right? Are you injured at all?
I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san.
The hell just happened? It looks like we avoided a collision, and also everything fell over again, so any evidence of our presence has been erased.
I think...
Yes, the ship has come to a stop.
Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine.
Ah! Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance.
Oh, that sounds like...
Inspector Hosonaga.
Oh.
Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly.
What? The bolt? Oh.
Look at that.
The door's bolted. Did you do that, Suzaru-san?
No, I didn't touch it.
Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again.
Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in?
Yeah, may as well. I'd better tidy this place up first.
No! Don't!
Oh my god. Our violent emergency stop has solved one mystery, at least in a very vivid way. But knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried and tidied up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. To be continued. We're actually going to continue for another little bit, but I'm going to take a break first. 9th January, SS Burya, Miss Pavlova's cabin. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Suzato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. Oh dear.
Joe, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters?
You both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you.
What on earth happened?
We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship.
Yes, it appears to have been a false report.
Oh, how'd that happen?
There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought we saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere. This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment.
Oh, I see.
Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside?
Oh!
Ah!
You wicked intruder! Dressed all in black, you are the devil!
Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil's the first.
You opened my traveling case! How could you? What? No. We didn't touch it. It was already open. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector!
Jeez.
Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. Is it not enough that he has killed a man?
Oh, and he stole away as well. The victim promises not to steal chicken. Do you believe?
Cesaro, help me out here. What's the vixen?
Female fox.
Oh.
Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stolen away. Trespassing. Cheating. She is right. You are devil.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it?
There sail below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow, we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police.
Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Osanagi, is there nothing you can do?
This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options.
This is terrible.
This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution.
Immediately.
You know what? I don't even want to know. What? The actual... What?
What are you doing up there? Mr. Schultz!
Why are you wearing that tiara? Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. This is detective tomfoolery. Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious?
No!
To properly assess the weight of 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not.
You again. The great detective.
Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently.
You might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is your report? Speak!
An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Burya, has been solved. By me, naturally.
What? Really?
Yes, I've eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
It's great deduction time!
Oh.
You have solved it. Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing student boys this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is this doorway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin.
Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories.
Locked room. That is point.
The room was locked.
Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all.
What?
Oh, yes. There is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door.
What other entrance? We never discovered one.
Why, it keeps open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator man!
The ventilator man? What's the ventilator man? You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole.
You can put your arm through that door.
You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? It's not possible.
But it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator.
Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
That'd be the gas leak.
1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
That would be the snake. Precisely, my dear madam.
But what does it mean? What is this speckled band?
Wait. Wouldn't matter if it was a snake because he wasn't poisoned. Rope? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Oh, it doesn't matter if it was a snake or not because the door wasn't actually locked. It got locked after the emergency stop. That happened last night while everybody was knocked out from gas.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
There's a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I'm about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold!
Ah! Blood! What the? Ah! It's a snake!
That's a very large snake. Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the speckled band. That's a constrictor.
A snake!
Indubitably. Yeah, you and me both. Well, 3, 4. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Oh, well, that snake, isn't really speckled, is it? Looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Hmm?
Yes, you're right. I think in this case you'd have to call it the striped band, wouldn't you?
You both see and observe, what with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall?
Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap?
How exactly is this a trap? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Ms. Pavlova?
I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me.
There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one. Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life.
Oh.
She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Well, she wasn't very tan to begin with. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. It'd be the first time. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Osogi? Snake got your tongue? Looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. It's a constrictor, I think. So, everyone, let us begin! Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
The great deduction! The game is afoot!
The game is a snake. Topic 1, Intruder's Identity. Ms. Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled bond. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give then, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of these.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Oh! Yes, that which you are trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's soft skin. That's not how snakes work. It does look like a tail, though. Oh my... Evidently, after this subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. Nope.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, Your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. No. Conclusion of beloved speckled snake. Topic 2, how Mr. Asogi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I've been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could that be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. It's already been proven. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. As a constrictor, yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There's no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt.
You don't...
It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend.
To train?
Indeed, you'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny this snake has undergone such training?
It's not true.
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink his fangs in once, and his venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt my logic is infallible. Death by a venomous snake's bite. No. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Well, that was a load of old twaddle. Yeah. Exactly. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. Milk? It's a cat. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You've solved the mystery. Excuse me? What the hell are you on about, Ryunosuke?
Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. See now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name.
My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand.
Did I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes?
But of course, what's on your mind?
It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me.
I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly.
Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
You are well informed, madam.
And reptiles, don't drink milk.
Ah,
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
also adult cats don't drink milk. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding, so it must be a kitten. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds.
Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears.
Ah,
Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal a snake by whistling.
but madam, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements.
Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes.
There is one other thing.
You have more?
Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake can manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins.
Then it should try harder.
Please don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. Hello? I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh no, you don't mean.
Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be.
I had a feeling that was coming. All right, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, right. So cast your eyes down to your wrist again. What? You've done it again! Well, you can't very well dance around and point and stuff with your hands bound now, can you?
Your handcuffs are gone!
Where did he go?
Fear not. I shall see they are restored after all work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Part 2. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Topic 1. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. She does have a pained expression on her face.
Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind.
But you're not sure Mr. Holmes has read her quite correctly, is that it?
Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look very closely at Miss Pavlova.
Okay. Spin her around. Oh! Cat scratch.
Oh, Naruhodo-san, look! That looks like a very painful wound.
Yeah, it looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. And fairly recently, too.
Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here.
Yet. Oh, I have to present.
Yes!
Right, I forgot. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, on simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night?
When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse.
And it is that very pain that evidences your inexplicable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And it seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they?
No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow.
Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers?
We should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer.
All right.
Oh, it is a kitty, look!
Oh.
Oh, look at the photograph in this frame.
This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away.
She is exceptionally beautiful, isn't she?
Yes, that's true. But personally, it's a little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we'd better take a closer look at this.
Yes!
Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten. Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no.
The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you?
Ah!
Okay, not speckled.
Darka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
Darker would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back.
Okay, so maybe it's a scarf or something?
Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's soft skin.
Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back.
If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known.
Oh yes, boys like that are Mr. Shom's speciality. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
Thought deduction was his specialty. Or maybe making believe that was a ploy too.
Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back?
Oh, is it like a ribbon or something? What is that?
Well, it is speckled, and it is a band, but what is it? Seems to be soft and fluffy. Long piece of cloth of some sort. That looks like a handle at one end.
The hell? I think it may be a cat's toy.
Oh.
This sort is common in the West, apparently.
How is that a toy for cats?
Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it.
Sounds positively adorable.
All right.
Yes!
Yes! The thing you are trying, but failing, to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely. On the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After a feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return.
Ah.
In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. A truly troublesome feline young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova.
Okay.
Huh.
It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Taka, she is so naughty.
Okay. Topic 1, solved. Topic 2, how Mr. Asogi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I've been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom.
What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma-sama's body.
That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned.
Yes, it would seem so. Let us give him the information he's missing now.
Okay. Where is it? Ah, here it is.
Yes!
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah, yes. I knew it was one or the other.
He's next fuss.
Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seaman Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could this be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. Maybe that trunk?
Yes, that's a distinct possibility.
I would hate it if this was an accident that got covered up.
As of yet, no weapon has been found, though.
Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow.
I suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that broke his neck completely by accident.
Yes, a bad fall could explain it.
It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man.
Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? Is it this?
Yes!
Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish.
Shoe polish?
Indeed. Positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish.
Oh, neat.
And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped.
Oh my god, he didn't trip over a cat, did he? Please, no.
And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life.
No! I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it.
I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened.
But...
And if this part of Mr. Shom's deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes.
Where, I wonder?
Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. Okay. Well, it's not the traveling case, obviously. What's in here?
This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all for the first-class cabins have them.
But Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably, there's not much rubbish in there yet. A broken bell. Broken bell! Oh my god, he did trip over a cat.
Oh, what's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it?
It's a broken piece of a bell that was hung around the cat's neck. Yes, it is. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
It looks familiar. Perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you.
Oh my god.
Yes!
That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket.
Stop!
Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely, we found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Asogi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly.
Oh no.
So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin?
Yeah!
You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not?
I don't...
I don't know, and that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
But...
Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be...
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from darkest collar, the very glass bell in question. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble? your absent feline friend, Darka. What about the gas leak? And the Russian? Oh. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. Death by tripping over a cat. Oh my god. Talk about an inauspicious end. It can't be it. Oh my god. The great Kazuma Osogi taken out by a cat. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night.
It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Taka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands.
People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments.
She was so fast, she disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her.
And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it.
Yes. And I had read the rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed to talk with me.
Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really.
So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping.
So at that point, you thought it safe to try to lure the kitten back again? By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin.
Taka always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return.
Oh, damn it, she was whistling. So the faint whistling sound Kazuma wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve a pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened.
Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then...
Oh my god.
I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then, oh, it's such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent.
Kazuma was... From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. The SS Beria is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Asogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching, then the kitten got under his feet. The combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards?
In the end, I managed to get out to come back through the ventilator.
Yet Taka is nowhere to be seen.
I must have forgotten to lock my case. And now she's disappeared again.
Gracious, that cat is as insufferably restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself at least. Okay, but what about the Russian writing on the floor?
When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake?
You're right. Where is it?
If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it and where did it come from? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board this ship?
Oh, I didn't say. Snake is my friend. His name is Piroshko.
What?
What? That snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when the emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. Did not expect to find him in here.
Yes, how did that snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board.
Ha! We are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long without close friend? We have someone who understands.
Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But, my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake, surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in.
No venom.
Huh?
Piroshko does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is adorable, like Gladdy.
It's venomless?
Jeez, now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile.
And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose?
Rats! Ha! Like they say they milk chickens? Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Piroshko eats mouses. Big, fat, round mouses.
Ah! Oh, so... Is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for?
Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food?
Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a bell cord. And it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring rogue?
It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Piroshko has nothing to do with this incident.
So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. Huh. So I guess there won't be a trial after all. No murder, no murderer, no trial. Miss Pavlova? I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But
What are you talking about, Miss Mikotova? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events, an accident.
I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Oh, thank goodness. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. I confess,
I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter.
Ow!
I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction.
What now?
I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable.
Not again. When did he do that?
Especially as they're on your wrist as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call.
You were, Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not?
Yes.
Kazuma was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom even. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes.
Whatever that may be. Excuse me? The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in your cabin really came to be. All right, I'll see what I can do. Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo.
So then, shall we begin?
Yes. In the next episode, to the outro.
Oh my god.
This is so very not over. We still have to figure out why there was an emergency stop last night, which is apparently how the door locked itself, why everyone has headaches and doesn't remember this emergency stop, who wrote wardrobe in Russian to set Ryu up, and whether this really is just an accident or whether it was murder. After all, the entire reason Hosonaga is on this ship is to prevent Kazuma from being assassinated. Anywho, up here's a playlist of my Persona 5 Royal playthrough, and down here's a video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!